Um, the main moving part in that is the compressor. And the only reason that that would give up or break down is if it's not sized right to suit the needs of the house. So it's up to us to size it right. And the cost to replace the compressor is about €700. So it is. So, but we never had to replace one yet. You have to get it right. You have to get it right. You're looking for good man, for a 300 litre. We give a full kit. It's a 300 litre stainless steel tank, a 10-year warranty with the tank, and a panel, and the panel is a 10-year warranty. The whole thing supplied and fitted will be roughly about €4,500 to €5,500, depending on the circumstances of the house. So it would. So the other presentation I have is just about saving money on existing houses. I'm sure, Brian, you can help me out here. The tank on the left-hand side has a screw-in immersion heater. Who here would use their immersion heater to heat hot water? And would you have this one or the one outside the tank? The one outside the tank. The one that screws into the top of the tank, you don't get a serious amount of hot water from it. If you did it on for 15 minutes, it would probably do the dishes and out of bed. Whereas the one on the right, this one's just a screw-in immersion heater. The one on the right-hand side is a Wallace heater. The Wallace heater would be slightly more efficient, so it would, where it would heat the hot water quicker, and if you had it on for a short period, it would give more hot water. So if any of the one on the left-hand side installed and it gives up, ask your plumber to install the one on the right-hand side. The two's around the one money to buy, and it's much more efficient. You who use the immersion heater, would you have a switch like this that you just switch on and walk away and then switch it off? Sometimes it might be on for an hour or 2 hours and forget about it. That there is the case in a lot of houses where it's a switch like this is on. The one on the right-hand side where you have the quarter hour, half hour, and 2 hours. This is the one that we'd be recommending to people to put on, to change. Because a lot of, as we're saying, you switch it on, walk away, forget about it. Whereas if you want to do a sink of dishes, you put it on for 15 minutes. If you're having a shower, you put it on for half an hour. If you put it on for an hour, a couple of showers and that. So at least it'll switch off if you run out the door and forget to switch it off. It'll automatically turn off and it's not running all night. Cost of that's about €35, roughly. Oil boiler. Who's got a condensing oil boiler installed, upgraded? If your oil boiler is in for 10 years or more, probably by now it's the old inefficient oil boilers. And it's in your own interest to upgrade and change to a condensing oil boiler. The cost of it to upgrade to a condensing oil boiler is roughly about anything from €1,200 upwards, so it is. And you'll save, probably it'll be a 4-year payback for you, but it's money well spent. It's much quieter, it's cleaner, and it's steam that comes out of the flue pipe, it's just plume. Whereas the one on the left, it's the temperature of the flue alone is about 250 degrees. You're wasting heat all the time. And if you use over a tank and a half of oil per year, it's well worth changing to a condensing oil boiler. It's much more efficient to run, so it does. The stove versus slack boilers. Anybody have a stove in or put in a slack boiler that? You have a stove in. And how do you find it? Aye. It would be. Many radiators would you have? 12 radiators. And what size is your stove? Aye. And how many radiators would your stove be fit to heat? To see, yeah. Aye. The way you probably should run your stove sometimes is, if it is struggling, have your oil on for maybe a half an hour first to give the radiators a start and then let your stove take over. But probably 60% of the time, the stoves are fitted wrong. They're not connected right. And a test for you to do maybe is switch on your oil boiler and test your stove to see if it's warm. If the oil boiler is heating your stove whenever it's not lit, there's something wrong there. There's something not right in your hot press. It's wasting heat somewhere. Heating your stove is like heating 2 or 3 extra radiators. And if you can stop that, your stove will be much more efficient. And if you've the right size of stove, and it should heat them 12 readers. Would you agree, Brian? It should heat the readers, no problem at all. Yeah. It's no good. You have to feed the thing to heat the readers, you know. Um, Slack boilers, I'm sure people have heard about slack boilers, and has anybody got ones fitted in the house? You, they're not really that popular around Letterkenny because of the smoke. You're not allowed to really have them. But then, but in any showing, they'd be fairly popular. You'd throw a stone and you'd hit one maybe. They're a grand job, but they're only suited to certain people. They're suited to people that's prepared to work at them, clean them out for an hour on a Saturday morning and that. And you have to dump in the bags and stuff. They are cheaper run than what oil would be, and the heat's phenomenal from them. Again, it's back to ours, so this is a slide I had for somebody else. This is what the solar tubes look like, ours on the right-hand side. Aluminium radiators is a great option for houses that rooms will be hard to heat in. Aluminium radiators hold about 40% less water, and they're much cheaper run, so they are. And they're a great job with a stove. If you were to change a couple of your radiators in the house to aluminium radiators, your stove will work much more efficiently, so they will. And a lot of new houses now we're putting in aluminium radiators, and it's a stove that's running them all the time. They hold 40% less water. They're about 20% more costly to buy, but they're a 15-year warranty with them, so there is. They're a much, much better job. And if you have a room in the house that's hard to heat, if you upgrade to an aluminium radiator, that'll do away with that. Thermostatic radiators will be very important in houses for running costs and that. A thermostatic radiator will cost you about €10, and they're well worth having on bedrooms and living rooms. You set them around 3 for your bedrooms, and in your sitting rooms and that, you'd have them around 5 or whatever suits to control it. Was that easy on for the talk on the installation? If you were to spend some money on your installation in your attic space for that, likes of rolling out cozy wrap that, putting on 2 runs of it and crisscrossing it, you'll see a drastic drop in your fuel bill, so you will, and you'll have a much warmer house. And it's well worth doing that, sealing up the drafts or doing a bit of air tightness in the house. The rolling out cozy wrap rolling out 2 rolls of cozy wrap, 200 one way and 200 over the top of it, will nearly take 40% off your heating bill if it's done right, and sealing up around your windows and that. If you upgrade from single glazing to double glazing, but sometimes the cost can be too much, but there's a coating that you can get now to put on single glazing, which will reduce the heat loss through single glazing, so it would. And there's Joe McDade there, the Wonder Man, can talk to you about it. But retrofitting windows is a very good way of saving energy. What happens a lot of times is they'll be leaking out around the frame, not particularly through the glass, because the frame has shrunk or something like that due to the sunlight and the weather. And it's well worth having a look at and looking at the payback period for changing your windows. Just the whole country's talking about water meters, but if you have a pressurized system, high pressure in your showers, there's shower heads that you can get to put on to reduce your water consumption up to 40%. It'll still give you the same great pressure in your shower, but you will reduce your water consumption. And on the right-hand side here, it's just an ordinary milk carton. If you cut the top of that, fill it with water and drop it in your cistern, you'll save about a litre flush. It's a good, cheap way of saving on water. Also, what a lot of people have asked us about this past while, children or teenagers in the shower, and they're hard to get out of it, and they're using a lot of water, and it's costing a lot to heat hot water. If you stick a wee timer, there's a wee thing that's called the elephant, and you stick it on your shower rail, and whenever your kids go to the shower, they can have a competition. They need to get out of the shower before the thing flashes. You save water. It's a simple wee thing. A couple of highlights. If you run out of oil, your lifespan of your oil boiler is deteriorated every time you run out of oil and airlock your oil boiler. You have to get a plumber out to undo it, and sometimes it mightn't start again. It might need a part then because it seized because it ran out of oil. Try not to let your oil burner out of oil. The credit unions are giving out loans for oil, whereas if you're buying oil every week, the credit union will give you a loan, you just pay them back every week what you would have been paying in oil. It's a much more efficient way of doing it. Turn down your oil boiler slightly and let it run longer. Insulate where you can. Do a bit of air tightness if you can. That's money well spent. And put a timer on your immersion heater. So whenever you turn on your immersion heater, it'll automatically turn off. That's it. Thank you.